welcome to Urban Cartoons, Big Kids in the City,
Yeah.
hosted by...
I'm D'Angelo Edwards of Hats Off Media.
And I'm Offbeat Kiki, and now you're going to clap for us again, because we have... whole screens. Hi, again, I'm Offbeat Kiki. I'm a video essayist on YouTube. I like talking about mostly old cartoons, good mix of adult animation and kids animation, lots of Nickelodeon stuff, talking about how it relates to like my life and tying in some personal stories with the cartoons. And I also run a cartoon band called Ellie and Knox with my best friend, and I'm Knox in that band, so you may have heard our covers somewhere on the internet if you like Has Been Hotel. And we're just going to have to deal with that, I guess. Okay, and this is...
I'm D'Angelo Edwards, and I run Hats Off Media. That's my channel. I usually just talk about whatever I want, but sometimes, you gotta go with the flow. Some of my favorite videos I've done, I'm doing a long-running series on every cartoon. I'm also trying to review every adult animated series on all the different streaming networks. I've done most of them except for Netflix because that's a lot. I'm also working off and on a indie pilot for a show called Screen Time.
Yeah!
And I'm also working on a comic that I have not revealed any info about, and I probably won't.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so urban cartoons. What makes a cartoon fit into this panel for us?
Yeah. See, urban cartoons are something that me and Keeks have really bonded over. It's there was something really special about this brand of animation. If you know me, I'm more into action stuff, horror stuff. So when it comes to the slice of life stuff, I do like it, but it's usually not my go-to. But these kind of cartoons, the atmosphere, the vibes of those, there's something really special about them that really draws me to them. And there's a lot of things that goes into making a show like this, a show like that,
Yeah. Such as portraying daily life in the neighborhood.
Yeah, the city. In these kind of shows, the city is just as much of a character as the characters. You see usual adult animation, and, the backgrounds are never, bad, but, there's nothing, special to them. There's no, there's not that much, heart or soul. There's a couple of, if you look at, maybe, early Simpsons, there's something cool there. But, if you look at, even though I like these shows, Family Guy, American Dad, you're not really staring at those backgrounds like you would with these shows, and you're not really exploring them, the neighborhoods, the different streets, the different people who live there, as much as these shows.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about this type of cartoon is how much you get to learn about the other people who live in the vicinity around the main cast, and how they'll show the lives of so many diverse types of people and not just that small group of main characters.
Yeah, it never feels like once the camera's off the main characters, the story stops. It's something always living and breathing city.
Cool. And what makes the protagonists of these cartoons unique? In my opinion, it's that they're never the chosen one or about to go on some great adventure. They're just dudes, gals, and pals doing their thing.
Just guys.
Day to day. Just guys.
Yep, I do like these characters, the everyman. It's always interesting seeing these kind of characters because people follow a dad or a big person up in a industry or something. But how often do you see just a show about just a retail worker or a dude who's basically struggling day to day, living paycheck to paycheck? That's what really is interesting to me.
And most of us are not destined to save the world.
Yeah.
We're just doing our thing, so it ends up being more relatable for that.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be struggling with daily issues and sweating stuff like clogging a toilet or dealing with their little brother.
Yeah, we're trying to catch a train.
Yeah, in these two's case. And what about the secondary characters?
In these kind of shows, the secondary characters stand out just as much as the main guys. Sometimes even more. It's usually with shows that focus on the main character like that. They'll what's my vibe? What am I trying to say? They'll only focus on the main characters, and like the side characters would just kind of like be like accessories. But with these kinds of shows, you really get a sense of those characters' lives, like even outside the main group. Like there'll be like full dedicated episodes to like a character you might only see a few times, and they really start to like feel alive, like they're actually people.
Yeah, they have their own stories. They're not just foils or accessories for the main character. A lot of the time, there's kind of like a found family vibe where
Yeah.
everyone comes together every so
Just a
often.
bunch of misfits like fitting into each other's lives.
Yeah. And sometimes they end up being the most lovable characters of the whole bunch.
Yeah. Before we get into like, the more adult shows, like this isn't just like a strictly adult animation thing. Like shows like Arthur also, start off that like I know Elwood. I've been there. I feel like.
Yeah, you could do this subgenre for anybody. Arthur is one of the earliest cartoons most of us saw, and we were feeling like this one fits the vibe. You see them all around the city. You see pretty much their whole class of their class at school of child characters, and you get to know a lot of the adults in their life too over the course of the series. And yeah,
And you also just get to see like different types of lives. Like all these kids are like from like vastly different like cast of wealth. You'll have like Muffy like living in a mansion, and then you'll have like Francine in like an apartment. Like just it's cool seeing shows that like actually show like different types of lives for different characters. Like most shows are just like kids on the cul-de-sac or just like in a row of suburbs, but like this one really feels like it's just like kids all around the city just coming around to go to school.
yeah. Another one we wanted to shout out is Hey Arnold. The characters use public transit. The Hey Arnold movie is about gentrification. Like D'Angelo was saying, this one too features housing diversity. I mean, the main character lives in
A boarding house.
like a boarding house, yeah, with other people
I
who
didn't even
are not
know what
his
that
family.
was when I was a kid.
Me too, but I always thought it seemed cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it never shames people from the different backgrounds. It just kind of like honestly shows them off.
For sure, because there are like several characters who are just like straight up poor, and you never like see them in. You might see them like at their worst, but it's never just like, oh, look at this like pitiful guy. It's just like this is just like a person going through hard times, just like anyone else could be.
Yeah. Cool. So now we want to talk about some adult animation. The first one is Downtown, and we've pulled a little clip for you guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully the audio will work.
And then I had
I'll just turn up my laptop really loud, I guess.
And then I had to throw it out. The damn tube of contraceptive jelly expired. How depressing.
Oh, at least condoms don't.
Oh, yes, they do.
No.
Yes, they do. There's a little date printed on the wrapper. Check it out.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Damn.
Oh, God. Leia probably buys her birth control supplies in bulk. Hello, Price Club?
All right, Jen, admit it. You'd like to be more like Leia, but you just don't have the guts. I mean, what's with the baggy clothes? I know you have a body hidden under there somewhere.
Oh, thanks for noticing. As if I'm the one who has a problem with the opposite sex. You obsess over, like, fantasy goth girls so you don't have to deal with real women with actual human flaws. Hey, did I ever show you my weird toe?
You know, this is typical. I try to have a serious conversation, and all you can do is crack jokes.
I'm not kidding. I'll show you right
Oh,
here.
keep
Look,
your
see?
socks on, mutant. You have nothing to complain about. You're a girl. You can get laid anytime you want.
Oh, I can't stand when guys say that. Yeah, sure I could. If I was entirely unchoosy and willing to pick up a complete stranger in some sleazy bar.
What's so bad
But I
about...
never get anywhere with the guys I really want.
Yeah, well, have you noticed the more you want something, the less likely it is you're gonna get it?
That's so deep. Have you been reading those weird religious brochures again? I haven't had sex for so long, I've forgotten what it's like.
I've heard stories from the big kids.
I'm so horny.
I hope you guys could hear that okay.
Wasn't for next door.
So that's Downtown. That's an episode that we watched together to prep for the panel, and I love that conversation. I love that when the conversation gets more intense, the visuals and the music also get more intense, and it really, the entire show just feels like you're being taken on a ride that never stops. And D'Angelo is like the downtown expert, the downtown guy, but I've really fallen in love with it through him showing it to me in the way that it's just feels like the most realistic conversations I've ever heard in a TV show as you're like following these people dynamically moving through the city.
Yeah, it's such a special show. Like there really hasn't been anything since downtown, like downtown, like just the way it looks, the grungy vibes, like the realistic conversations. Like a lot of it was just like improv, like just like they got like the perfect group of people to just like get together in the booth and just like kind of riff. Like
It does sound like they're together in the booth.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't sound like they're recording separately
They were.
the written lines. That's really cool. And yeah, another thing that we'll see in a lot of these panels, but or a lot of these cartoons, but is accurate for this one too, is this. Yeah, it doesn't censor what life is like for young adults. It doesn't really censor the script. The conversation that they were just having that we showed you guys is like not something you'd commonly hear out of a cartoon. So I think that's pretty cool too. And one of my favorite things about this genre is just like feels kind of unabashed about the more mundane parts of the human experience,
Yeah.
I guess.
yeah, like people banging. That's fine. Like it's not even like doesn't have to be like a big story.
It's not a big
Sometimes
deal.
it's just. But yeah, downtown's full of stories like that. It kind of feels like when you're walking with a friend, they're just like telling you a story. Like that's pretty much what every section feels like. It's just like hearing a story from a friend.
While seeing some really cool animation
Yeah.
and pretty character designs. Next up is Undergrads.
Yeah.
And we've got a clip for this one too, so we'll show you guys that. This one's a bit shorter.
Hey, I got some groceries.
Rule 1. You gotta knock, dude. God, I'm late. If I miss another biolab, I'm screwed.
Screwed? Oh.
And I've got that male sexuality exam tomorrow. Can you test me tonight?
Well, me? That's not really my...
Forte? Me neither. Toss me my deodorant.
Oh.
You got that stomach thing again?
I love how the deodorant says made for a woman.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god.
You gotta know.
Even that's terrifying.
Dude is soft. Couldn't even handle deodorant.
So Undergrads is one of those rare cases where we actually get to see cartoon characters in college. It feels like there's not a whole lot of shows where we get to see that era. Maybe because that era can be so spicy in terms of what content can be there. But it has a similar vibe of like very understated dialogue and backgrounds, and all the colors are like kind of like muted and soft, which kind of reflects the chill nature of most of the show. And then there will be moments of, you know, college boy anxiety thrown in there. It centers around a group of college friends who are all kind of nerdy, geeky boys.
Yeah. It really highlights like the social like aspects of college. Like I don't know, once I got to college, like, that's when I really started like doing stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like actually going places and like hanging out with like random people, like getting lost at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's the time for it.
Yeah. Like, man, but it is cool though that they show all this. But it's funny, like the show's about college, but like they don't be studying. They never go to class.
No, you never see them in class.
The most you'll get is like them learning about FAFSA, which is a pretty nerve-wracking episode.
Yeah, that is nerve-wracking. Especially because it turns into a protest.
That's true.
Yeah, the next one is Mission Hill.
Yeah.
This is one of my personal favorite cartoons of all time.
Samesies.
And I'm going to show you my favorite scene from the pilot.
Oh, no one under 21 is allowed. I'd better go home.
Don't worry about that. Everything will be fine if you just stay cool.
Okay. I shouldn't be in here. I feel guilty. I'm in here under false pretenses.
Sit still and stop attracting attention.
But what if they ask for my ID? I could get arrested. Then I'll never get into a good college. All because I wanted to hear ska.
Crap. Now the bouncer's coming over. Be cool or you're gonna get us all kicked out.
Good evening, gentlemen. I see some ID there, sir.
Oh, oh, how flattering you should ask. Ever since I shaved my beard, everyone has been...
Sir, if you're not 21, I'm gonna have to ask you to...
Oh, God, it's happening! Please don't arrest me! I want to go to Yale or Amherst! Don't call my mother! I didn't know! He made me do it!
Well, congratulations, you little dork. You ruined my whole life in less than a week.
I didn't...
Shut up! I did you a big favor by letting you move in with me. You should be down on your knees kissing my ass. Oops. I'm sorry. I said ass. Please tattle on me. Please, give me a preachy speech. Won't you show me the way, Reverend Goody McFreaking Gumdrops?
Mom and Dad said...
Mom and Dad aren't here. They're 1,000 miles away. Why don't you take advantage of that? Stop ruining my fun and have some for yourself, for God's sake.
You're right.
That's the first time you've ever said I was right about anything.
That's the first time you've ever been right about anything. But seriously, it's time I start taking advantage of all this freedom. Do things I could never do with Mom and Dad around.
That's the spirit.
Good. Now let's get home so I can start masturbating.
Kevin, is everything okay? Are you sick or something?
Nah, I stayed up till 4:30 last night.
Mask?
No, just researching how to be cool. The internet's not as helpful as you'd think.
Kevin, oh my goodness, what's happened to your inner light?
Oh, what, is it stained or something?
Well, no, but it's become dim and venal and wicked, like Andy's.
Way to go, Kev. You burned out your inner light in one evening. Imagine what we can accomplish this weekend.
So the premise of Mission Hill is that Andy French is a city boy and his parents want to move across the country, so they basically have his little brother come live with him and go to school in the city, and his little brother is a nerd and ruins his life. So it's a fun show. But the characters are all kind of slackers. They don't really have strong goals or ambitions. You're just seeing them like work in retail, and you're seeing Kevin go to school and drinking beer, and their dog eating their couch. Like they're just going about their daily life. Something I especially love about this show is it aired the first ever gay kiss on television.
Yeah!
These two are some of the most beloved characters in the show, and they're an old gay couple who argue all the time, who live in the same building as Andy and Kevin, and they're fantastic.
Icons.
Yeah. There is character growth, and that's not always something that you see with this type of cartoon, but it's subtle and gradual. There's not often like some huge invoking event that creates a change in the character. You just kind of see the brothers' relationship get better over time as they test each other by being in close proximity, and I like that.
Yeah. One of the things I really enjoy about Mission Hill is that the main character, Andy, is just like, he's an artist, like a struggling artist, so whenever a show is about that, like, that's when I relate to it the most, because I lived that. It's really cool seeing, like, his journey, like, he's never, like, he's always actively, like, sending in, like, pitches to, like, different magazines, just trying desperately to get a job that doesn't make him hate waking up every morning. And so it's really cool to see a character like that just like go through their daily life, and like he gets depressed about it, but he also like still has fun, still goes out. Like it's cool just seeing like all the parts of like how it is to be like an artist, like moving somewhere else and like trying to chase that dream job. Also, you can't like understate how like gorgeous this show is.
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say visually this is one of my favorite shows ever, just because of like the colors and the way that they'll make aesthetic choices for each of the scenes. Like The lighting is always interesting. The city is always super colorful. The sky is purple here because it's nighttime. And if you can manage to get your hands on an HD rip of the show or a 4K rip of the show, it looks even better.
Yeah. Like when I think back to walking around the city at night, this is how I remember it looking.
Shout out Mission Hill. If you haven't watched Mission Hill, most of it's free on YouTube, and if you like cartoons at all, it's definitely worth your time. It's one of the best ones I've ever seen.
The creators actively encourage you to pirate it.
Yeah, this is true. All right. Next up is 16. If my outfit resembles anyone to you, that's purely a coincidence. 16 is about. Oh, go ahead. Sure, if you want to clap.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Give it up for 16.
Yeah, I love 16. 16 is about 6 friends who all work at the mall, and it almost happens entirely in the mall, and it's just about their daily hijinks there. One of my favorite things about 16, and especially when I was 17 watching 16, which is when I watched the whole thing, definitely saw it when it was airing too, is it's not afraid to be gross in the way that real life is. Like, we just hit shuffle on 16 to prep for this, and I think we ended on an episode where Nikki goes to Jonesy's house and she clogs the toilet and like has a breakdown about clogging the toilet. So it's not afraid to be gross and weird and silly about mundane stuff.
That one is gnarly.
It is gnarly, the way real life is.
Jonesy falls in it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Right?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
so
it gets
crazy.
worse. I also really like the art style of this one.
Oh yeah,
It's cool.
for sure. I know a lot of shows, like especially nowadays, go for like the rig-based stuff, and like that's cool. I appreciate that as well. But this one really like made a style all their own. Like it's really nice to look at. I really love how 16 looks. It kind of looks like if you ever looked through like fashion magazines, like a certain type of fashion magazine,
Yeah.
that's what the art style really reminds me of.
It definitely looks like fashion illustrations for sure, and like some old Barbie art kind of looks like this.
Oh yeah, like the Mycene stuff.
Yeah.
Like when 16 first came out, at first I wasn't like super into it, but then one day it just kind of clicked. Like I just kind of like it was like on demand. I was like, I got nothing else to do, so I turned on an episode and I kind of was just like, oh, these are just like kind of like people. I was like Keeks. I was the exact right age for it. Like just kids like hanging out in the mall with their friends. Like that really it felt really special. Like most shows like about high schoolers are like strictly about like school. Like you'll have episodes where they like hang out or like go somewhere different, but it was cool that this one was just mostly just like the hanging out aspect. It was cool.
Yeah, I tried to watch this when it was airing, and I was younger than 16. But at the time, I think it kept moving between networks. Like I swear, in maybe like the first year that it was airing or something, I saw it on Cartoon Network. But then I think it started airing on Nickelodeon eventually. I didn't have cable, so I was just looking for it on the internet after a certain period of time, and then it finally landed on Netflix, and I got to watch the whole thing like all in a row when I was 16 or 17 years old. And it was a summer where I just like couldn't see my friends a lot, and they became my friends for the summer. And I got so invested in everything. And I was definitely had a big crush on Wyatt.
You will bond with a group like this.
Yeah. Oh, we once did a Cartoon Crushes bracket, and Wyatt won. So shout out to Wyatt.
Dreamboat.
Next up is Fairfax, and I'll let D'Angelo take this one.
Okay, Fairfax is like a newer one. It's probably like some of the closest like that I've come to like that having that vibe, like the way the backgrounds are, the way the colors are, like. But it's like a new type of show. Like it's basically about Gen Z and like hypebeast culture, and like I know that can get like a lot of like really consumerist and like a little like kind of gross at some points. But the way the show handles it, and the way these kids like talk about it, like yeah, they are kind of like chasing trends and stuff, but like you can tell they like genuinely like this stuff. And they like actually bond around it, like they form a little. They call it like a gang, and they just kind of like form their own little group. And they kind of like adopt the kid in the hat. They just like adopt him one day. Like it's just like this nerdy kid who likes camping and like he just loves his dad. Like that's like his main character trait is that him and his dad are best friends. And these like hype beast kids take him in and they turn him into like a culture monster. It's crazy. Like the show looks great. Like if you ever, there's an episode called Chernobyl Fest that has some really gorgeous colors. There's a couple, and like it gets sweet. Like there's some really sweet episodes. There's like some episodes like showing like all the kids have different interests. Like the black kid's really into movies. The girl with the pink hair, she's really into like activism, and the Asian kid is mostly just like he's like the super hype beast, like the hypest hype beast. Yeah.
Like they volunteer at a retirement center, and he sees like a really nice pair of Levi's on an old man, and then the old man passes away, and he like tries to get the jeans off of.
He digs
off
up
of
his
the guy's
grave.
body. He's obsessed. It's a little unhinged and chaotic compared to the other ones, but it's fun to see something that came maybe 5 to 10 years after when this era kind of ended.
It's good that like a new generation has something like this.
Yeah.
This is also the only time I've ever liked the Drake song in a show, so that's pretty good.
Which one was it?
God's Plan. But they did their own version, and you didn't have to hear Drake. Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, I forgot we put this in here. Okay, all right.
Take it away.
This is like kind of the most like edgy of all of these that we're talking about today. So I'm just saying that I'm fully aware that this is a little different than the other vibes, but it does take place in a city and stars a social worker working in a town, a version of New York City where the citizens are monsters and people. So, all right. So Ugly Americans is fun because it's a normal guy in the least normal place on Earth, kind of just being subjected to everyone around him being extremely strange and just coping with it. But he's a very likable main character. He's like a very sweet, unassuming, unoffensive guy who's just trying to help all these monster and human citizens, or I think some of them are immigrants, and he's like trying to help them get a green card and stuff. But then, he's dating a demon and works with demons, and she's the daughter of Satan. So it's fun to see a normal guy react to all of those different situations.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Ugly Americans, but what I've seen I have enjoyed. It's a really unique art style. They used every frame in the book they had. Like, it's a good show. Like, I have fun with it.
Definitely the most like adult animation-y
Oh, for sure.
any of these, but a product of its time a little bit, but I love it anyways. All right.
And these are some recommendations for some lesser-known urban cartoons. There's Delta State. It's a very early like rotoscoped cartoon. It's like really like dreamy and like vibe heavy. Like the way they do like the rotoscoping with the backgrounds is really interesting. Like really, you should check it out. There's Foot to Roo. I think it's just called Football over here. It's a show about like just like a group of like orphans just kind of coming together and like taking comfort in each other and just playing football together. I haven't. It's really fun. It's like it has a really cool like Y2K art style, like thick outlines. Like I really enjoy how it looks. And there's Lucky Boy, which is an indie pilot that I really like. It's one of my favorite indie pilots. It has an amazing art style. It has great vibes. The creator is a super nice person, Dom Rom, if you want to check him out on YouTube and Twitter. He's working on something new right now that looks crazy. Like, it looks so good. And Lucky Boy already looks amazing. So if you want something really cool to like check out, like any of these will do. But out of all of these, like the one I recommend the most is Lucky Boy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Foot to Roo kind of looks like Witch or something.
Yeah, it's another French show.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what happened? Like, there's not a ton of shows that exist like this anymore.
Yeah. It's just, I feel like companies really got like comfortable with only doing like one type of show. Like you see a lot of that. Like half of Netflix like adult animation looks exactly the same. Like it's a fine show enough. You get drunk and watch half a season, but it's really just like people don't really want to take risks with style anymore, and it's a little sad because all of these adult animated shows like used to look so different. It's also a shame that like besides like not being on sales anymore, like again, like I said earlier, I don't mind rigs, but it feels like almost every single like adult animated series nowadays is rigged, and you kind of lose some of that like unique style in that, you know.
Yeah, and then another consideration is just like it seems like it's never really been popular to focus your cartoon on the college age, which is crazy because I feel like even though all of us still love cartoons and that's part of why we're here, I feel like maybe the era where we start to really nerd out if cartoons remain one of our interests is like maybe when we're in college, you know, when we're like finishing up high school, we're like, actually, I do really like this thing and I'm gonna keep learning and digging into it, or at least that was the time for me where I really would have loved to have more shows like this, and
Yeah.
so
That's when you have money to spend on merch. There, like.
so now me watching these is a little bit of like feeding my inner child and enjoying stories that younger me would have really liked.
Yeah.
But here's to more college era, you know, party kid shows showing up in the future.
I really hope so.
Yeah. What's something you miss or really loved about these that you're, you know?
Again, really, just the backgrounds, like the different background styles. Like, it's never gonna come back, but man, I would love to see another one cell animated. Like, you'll never hit that vibe again. But
am I crazy or wasn't Mission Hill like one of the last cell?
yeah, it was. It was like that was like
too?
one of the last times you could do that.
Oh,
It's been out of style by like the turn of the millennium.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Q&A in a minute. And then something, I think for me, just how inherently diverse a cast is when the source of the cast is like an area of a city. I think that's really special, and like in those sorts of shows, there's always a character from the larger cast that you can typically identify with pretty easily. And yeah, I mean, these shows just tend to feature more goth girls, and I love that.
Yeah.
So,
Who doesn't?
I miss that. Okay, let's talk. Feel free to come up and ask us a question about any of the shows we discussed, if you would like.
Yeah.
We'll just do this mic over here, and I'll come right back. You can make a line over here, if you want to. Just pass it to the next person if somebody else. Go ahead.
Well, one of my favorite modern urban cartoons is Moo-Grown Double Dinosaur.
Yeah.
And that's a show that really loves to show off just how diverse and compact New York City is.
I really love the art in that show.
Yeah, it's such a good art style.
Yeah, and it also had stories on gentrification and the like.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that. I've been saving that for like a rainy day.
That's a really good one.
I wish there was more of it. It's great.
Yeah, it's a shame they treated that show dirty.
I blame bureaucracy.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you. Hello.
What is your favorite thing about Mission Hill specifically, besides the backgrounds? I know the backgrounds are amazing, but like, is there a particular character that sticks out, or is there like a certain episode's plot line that really sticks out, just like particularly good, or something like that?
You want to go or should I?
Do you want to go first? I mean,
Sure.
you've seen the whole thing, right?
Yeah. My favorite episode of Mission Hill is I'm not sure if it's the last one. It might be like it's closer towards the end when Andy finally like lands a job as like in his field. I really like because like again these characters like when they're artists like that's when it hits the hardest for me. That's my favorite kind of media where it's not dudes punching each other. It's like stories about artists. So it was really cool seeing his journey like. Because Andy's a good artist, but it's just like if it was hard back then, you know it's hard now. So like it's really cool seeing a character like that, like chase their dream, and he actually gets to live it a bit. It's not like a fancy job, right? It's like graphic design, but like it makes him happy, like way happier than selling water beds, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, I'm also like a big character writing person, and that's like what most of my video essays are about. So. Watching Andy like subtly grow throughout the series and like take more of a caring role for his brother and get closer to the things he wants to do with his life while also maintaining like the same core of who he is That's one of my favorite things about the show, and like watching the relationship between the two brothers evolve. But I also just like how weird it is. Like their dog eats their couch, and they don't. It's not like a freak incident. Like it's
Yeah,
just like, oh yeah,
it's just
he's
like
hungry.
a delicious couch.
Yeah. And also this character Posey and the way that her hair in the front, her bangs are just like lines, and apparently her hairline starts like back here.
Yeah.
I love how funky the character designs are, and how like vibrant and neon everything is.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me it's just like one of the shows that vibes with me the most ever about everything about it. So it's hard for me to pick.
Just hits on all cylinders.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of New York both around the clips and in the clips. Do you think there are any underrepresented cities that would translate really well to
Detroit. I want to see a show that happens in Detroit. I lived there for 8 years and I love Detroit with my whole heart, and I think a show in Detroit would be awesome. I think 5 shows in Detroit would be awesome. I think there's a lot of good potential, especially because Detroit is the home of techno, and so you could center a show around ravers and do a show like this, and there could be so much cool music that could come out of it, and so many cool dance scenes. And also you could show like the aftermath of going to raves and how exhausting that is, and like it's a very fun, loving culture, techno, and when I'm not here at MomoCon, I like to go to the techno festival in Detroit this time of year. So that's my vote. I would love to see a Detroit show like this.
What kind of?
Sorry, I'm very enthusiastic about that.
I know one that takes place in Detroit.
What's that?
God, the Devil, and Bob.
Oh, is
Okay.
that?
Oh,
That's in Detroit. I forgot about that.
forgot about that.
For me, I think something cool like Austin maybe that'd be kind of fun, like because there's that whole like weird culture of Austin.
It's another art center.
Yeah. That'd be really fun. It really is just usually like New York and Jersey.
Detroit also has a lot of like diverse identities.
Yeah.
Like you could feature like Black and Muslim characters there a lot more believably. I think I got to make a cartoon now. After
Yeah.
Shit.
Thank you. Love the panel.
Thanks.
Hello, first time caller, long time listener. I just wanted to say thank you very much for mentioning Ugly Americans. I love that show so much. It's great. I think my one issue with that show, and then like once you hear it, you just can't unhear it, is that they only have like one musical sting.
No,
and
I
they play it,
know.
over
Yeah.
and over again.
Yeah.
And like it gets baffling. I want to ask, who are your favorite characters in that show?
I mean, Mark is like my favorite character, which is like very basic of me. But his zombie roommate, whose name is escaping me right now, is probably my favorite side character, and the wizard.
Oh yeah, they're all. Oh, Leonard.
Yeah, Leonard.
Yeah.
Leonard might be my favorite character.
That's also my
actually.
favorite character.
Leonard's great. I do love
The way that he'll just use magic to escape a situation at any point in time is very funny.
You gotta love a scumbag wizard.
And conjuring up like a fake family and stuff.
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, that's another one of those shows I watched that summer when I couldn't talk to my friends and was watching 16. I was bouncing between that and Ugly Americans.
It also makes sense. Like I feel like if there were like wizards and like magicians like in real life, they'd
be lazy.
They would suck.
Yeah.
They'd be huge jerks.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Great question, Dan. Thanks.
So, okay. People can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so like one question I had while doing this is that does like urban character count when the characters are like someone other than human? And I don't mean like I mean like Clifford. You know Clifford, where it's like following the animals and Clifford. Now like one thing I want question about that is like if Clifford count because one, Clifford is a giant dog, which kind of makes him a little bit fantastical, and two, it's from the point of view of the pets.
That's kind of valid though. I kind of think Clifford counts like that. It's like a small knit community. You see like all these different like people in the community like that. You get to. The only thing is I don't know any of their names, but
Emily Jane. I'm like pulling from like the.
It's Emily Elizabeth.
Emily
Elizabeth. And that's as much as I got.
Yeah, I'm pulling from the recesses of my memory right now.
Yeah, but like I remember the black kid and his dad like they like ran like a shop, right? And it was cool to see like that in the neighborhood. They would go there. It was cool to see like all the different characters, like different. They all had like businesses. It was interesting. Like it was such a close knit like island community. It was cool.
Yeah, I really like Clifford.
That's
Thank
a
you.
fun shout. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Didn't even think about that.
So a lot of the shows you talked about were very, very grounded. You know, they could be a bit of outlandish, but it was very like real people, with the exception of Ugly Americans.
Yeah.
Where would you say the line is? Like, would you consider Futurama an urban cartoon, for instance?
I feel like it could mean anything. So I think based on the parameters of this panel, where you get to see like a larger community around them and they matter, I don't necessarily know. I feel like from my recollection in enjoying Futurama, it's mainly like the cast of the Planet Express or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, it does happen in a really cool city though, and that city definitely feels alive.
Yeah.
So sure, maybe if we
They agree.
sure.
Yeah, I think that
I do love Futurama though.
definitely parts of it definitely count. Like especially in the earlier seasons when you like really see how dirty and dingy like some of those. It's supposed to be like the year 3000. You still got like
Yeah.
garbage and stuff everywhere. It's crazy.
Because humans will always do that. But,
Yeah.
I also think maybe like Futurama's not quiet enough to fit
Yeah.
what we were talking about today. Like Ugly Americans is quiet in its delivery, even though it's outlandish. And Futurama is like a little bit more like silly in your face. I
Yeah.
guess.
Hello.
One thing I wanted to mention, to your Clifford point, there was the spin-off Clifford Puppy Days, where Clifford and Emily Elizabeth, when he was still small, they lived in an apartment in a city, and so it got more urban in the spin-off. But my question was, so in a lot of your examples, we saw the main characters being younger, so we have like kids, teens, and then young adults. And I was wondering if you had any thoughts on why we don't see more like older people, like in 40s, 50s, more established characters being focused on as main characters in this subgenre.
For me, I really think like the appeal of this show is like following like the formative years of these characters, and I think that's what really sets it apart from other shows. Like by the time you're like in your 40s and 50s, you kind of hopefully have your life figured out, right? But I think that there is something to that. Like you could see like maybe a character like starting over, or maybe just moving somewhere and trying to find their way in the world. I think that would be cool. I don't think there's like a line in the sand about whether like how old you can make characters in this kind of setting. But I do think that's the reason you don't see that kind of thing more often.
I would say maybe it's partially because of what audiences are expected for this type of cartoon, and maybe it's not expected for people that age to be watching cartoons, which we all know is wrong. You can love this stuff at any age. And also, like, people don't consider enough that there are people older than all of us who still go out and go dancing, or like go have a crazy night until 4 a.m. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of these shows are a little formulaic in that way. Like they're focusing on a specific type of group of people at a specific era in their lives. And we did focus our panel in on that specific pocket too.
That was the stuff that we grew up on,
Yeah,
and the stuff
yeah.
that we really relate to the most.
Yeah, I think probably just people not thinking to include people who are older could be a reason too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Animation needs its own Golden Girls.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, because there's plenty of live action shows that do that.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't really cross over into cartoons super often.
So beyond how the actual like physical designs of the cities and such actually like physically are, how much do you feel visual design contributes to the idea of an urban cartoon? Because when I think of these cartoons, you get a lot of this sort of more grungy imagery that you would see in like downtown. And one show that comes to mind is a Kitty Bobo show. And that sort of very, particularly the style of that, and also these other shows that you mentioned, there's just like I said, sort of like a grunge to it. How much do you feel that sort of art direction contributes to it?
Oh well, Kitty Bobo is like another good example. I really love that. I wish that it got picked up. Has a really cool style. It kind of would have been like another like in the same like vein of Hey Arnold that it like went to feature or whatever. Uh, there are shows that are cleaner than that. I prefer the grungier look, but to be honest, as long as it's like drawn in like a more like style that was like given more thought to it, I think like if it feels like people didn't just like drop in a few buildings and streets and call it a day, because that's a lot of adult animation.
Focus on realism, not so much like being like realistic, but like representing what's actually there.
Yeah.
I think the guy with the hat was waiting to ask a question. Sorry, before you got there.
So I do want to bring up, since you did bring up, well, somebody brought Futurama earlier, and you said how it crosses a little bit more over to the zanier, crazy side of things. I actually think maybe a little bit of an in-between that I also kind of like was particularly season 2 of the Looney Tunes show.
I love the Looney Tunes show. Yes. Oh my God, that would definitely also be in the same like silly but totally fits area.
I just love how I personally prefer how much more I can't really say grounded, but I guess a bit more down there.
No, they definitely domesticated the Looney Tunes.
But more so than season 1 in particular.
Season 1 does get a little bit more out there.
Which season does Daffy go to war?
That's season 2.
That's season 2?
Yeah. Which season has the one where Daffy buys a yacht with Porky's money? Yeah. That's my favorite episode.
He does.
Yeah.
He embezzles Porky.
He takes every dollar that he has.
That's so funny.
Thank you. We love Looney Tunes show.
It's like the episode of King of the Hill where Dale steals Bill's savings.
Oh my God.
Great presentation. Looking at these cartoons, I think some of the through lines y'all talked about, the audiences, or not the audience, but the background characters, the in-world audience of what the main characters are doing, everything being down to earth and more textured. I'm looping back around, but the most interesting name for another panel I've been to this con was Anime for People Over 25. Looking at this audience, I feel like the average age of the average cartoon watcher is growing up. Like maybe we are the first generations that grew up watching these kinds of animations. And as we continue to get older, I wonder how that's going to change in the media being produced. And like on one hand, you could just have SpongeBob, but they have wrinkles now. Or the extreme other end, like there's, I don't know how many anime there are where the character is 15 but looks and acts like a 20-something.
Yeah.
So I just want to see, looking into your crystal balls, do you think animation will particularly trend towards addressing maybe themes of older people while keeping it cosmetically the same? Or changing the cosmetics while keeping the plot the same? Or something entirely different?
I have thoughts about that. Okay, first of all, a lot of the shows we talked about are from the 2000s, so there definitely was a generation above us watching this stuff, but I think our generation, maybe people like 10 years older than us and people younger than us, are going to love cartoons for the rest of their life, and there are a subset of those people who will be making cartoons for the rest of their life. So, and people do tend to, at least half of them, make cartoons about their life in some way, so I can definitely see this genre getting carried forward to all age groups as those creators are getting older, reflecting on their own life and making work that speaks to that. For
Yeah,
sure.
like fans of this stuff are going to go on to make this stuff.
Yeah,
And I think that's cool. Like, even if there's like been a lull lately with stuff like this, I feel like as we get older and we actually like start making stuff like this, like we're going to get like way more of it.
Yeah.
Like the industry can't say no to every cartoon. They got to greenlit something.
They got to let something in.
Yeah. Oh, you're back.
So just to piggyback off that a little bit, D'Angelo, you're working on a show of your own called
Screen Time.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Off and on, I am working on an indie pilot called Screen Time. It's a show about 3 different types of artists. It's about an artist, like an illustrator, a musician, and a video game designer. It's basically just a show about people in like their late 20s, early 30s, like who have like tried to like break into the industry and just like haven't gotten anywhere. And I think that would be really interesting to explore. I really want to show like different aspects of like basically like becoming a content creator, like because that's kind of how you market yourself in today's day and age. Like a lot of people just break into the industry just because of what they post online. But I want to use this show to show that like that you kind of have to have a balance between trying to get yourself out there and actually like living life. So that's what I'm hoping Screen Time will do.
And I play a side character.
Keeks does. Keeks plays the lovely Psy.
The goth NB representation continues.
How would you say these kinds of shows have influenced the development of Screen Time, and do you wish to embody some of what they brought to the table in your own pilot?
Of course. I really want to like lean into like that naturalistic dialogue in downtown. I want to get my actors to do a lot of improv. The colors too of both Downtown and Mission Hill. Like those are the two shows that influenced my show the most. Are Downtown and Mission Hill, both in terms of like the way the dialogue is written and also in how they look. I've been developing a new style for it, which is why I had animated about like close to a minute of it, but I also lost some stuff. It's okay. But that's kind of got me to like relook at things, and even though I haven't had much time to work on it lately, I definitely am still going to make it, and it's coming along.
I definitely think the style and the writing, having read the script, evokes these cartoons pretty strongly. While offering something new and original.
Yeah.
So, I feel like we've never talked about Ugly Americans before. I've known you for like half a decade.
Isn't that kind of nuts that we haven't talked about it? It's one of my favorites.
Have either of you played the Flash game?
I've dabbled. I haven't like beaten it or anything.
Never?
Nah.
I probably did when I was a teenager.
I've barely seen it.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'll click on any link.
Link in bottom.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for coming to this panel and
Yeah,
asking.
thank you.